actually say that to me. They didn't say, this looks bad, because, like, they didn't want to freak me out. But the look on her face at this point, she's like, this is a little concerning right now. Like, you could see it. So she was like, I'm just gonna go get someone else to check this out too. Just to make sure, you know, it's good. Okay, I'll be right back. I had a tumor growing inside of me for probably a good 7 years, and I had absolutely no idea.
I'm out there looking for you where you went, running late at night to get you back.
Hey guys, it's Natasha. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys the story of my tumor. It sounds really dramatic. It kind of is, I guess, because I had a tumor growing inside of me for probably a good 7 years, and I had absolutely no idea. I do want to say that the tumor was benign, so no cancer. I've never had cancer. Yeah, just want to get that out there in the clear for everybody. So probably the first indicator that I ever had that I had something growing inside of me. Oh, you guys are probably wondering, like, where was this tumor, you know? The tumor was, like, specifically they called it a, oh, what was it now? An ovarian cyst. So it was growing in the area kind of near where when a girl gets pregnant there's a growth growing, except for it was to the side. So I think it was to the right, but honestly I don't even remember anymore. I had it growing inside of me for 7 years and I can't even remember what side it was on. Maybe it was the left. I really don't remember. Anyways, so the first indicator that I think that I had, and that I even had something growing inside of me, was when I was like in my early 20s, I feel like, and like whenever I would lay on my stomach and I would lay flat, like mostly like in the summertime when like you're in a bikini or something and you just want to, like, you know, lay outside, chill, I would always have to lay crooked and I couldn't lay flat on my stomach anymore. And if I tried to lay flat on my stomach, a lot of the times there would be like pressure on my bladder and I have to go to the bathroom like right away. So yeah, I would lay crooked like and then my cousin, who has been pregnant before, she was like, that's how you lay when you're pregnant. And so I was like, oh, like, okay, I guess that makes sense. We both had a growth growing inside of us. One of them was a baby, the other one was just a mass of cells, you know? So yeah, that's the first indication. I guess if that happens to you, you might suspect that you might be pregnant, but I didn't suspect that. And I certainly didn't suspect that I had a tumor, so in these ways. And so like when I was around 18, I think I noticed how like my stomach would kind of like stick out a little bit, like in the lower ab area, which is like a lot of, it's just like a typical area for people to like have like a little bit of like their stomach sticking out, you know? So like it's like kind of normal. But I was just like, I didn't like it, so I was just like, oh, like, I just need to, like, you know, work on that a little bit more. So that's like one of the first indicators, and then the second indicator was like me having to sit crooked because, you know, it was continuing to grow through the years. But I literally had no idea. Like, it was growing for like 7 years and it got so large inside of me and you could not even really tell because like you couldn't really tell. It's a good thing that this was not cancerous because honestly I really did not get it looked at for a very long time. Fast forward to the age of 25, which was literally just last year. So I finally went to the gynecologist, which is something that you're supposed to do when you reach 21 or you become sexually active. Whoopsie daisy. I feel like you have to be comfortable with going, like, you're never going to be like 100% like, oh, I want to go to the gynecologist. But I feel like you have to be comfortable with all of your body, you know what I'm saying, before you can go to the gynecologist and all that stuff. So yeah, so I finally went at 25, which was just last year, and then, what was I talking about? Oh, right, and I only went because my friend from work went to the gynecologist, and I was like because like obviously I knew that I needed to go to the gynecologist. So yeah, my friend went to the gynecologist, and then she was telling me about her appointment, and then she was talking to me about it and just telling me like about her experience and stuff. And so now I'm like, okay, I need to do that now. So then she like recommended a doctor for me to see, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's awesome, I'll go see her. So then I went to the gynecologist, and they were just doing like, you know, like regular checkup and just making sure everything was looking good, except for it wasn't, because I had a tumor growing inside of me. And I had to check for like, you know, STDs and all that stuff, so to get that stuff taken care of. So while in the gynecologist room, getting, you know, my examination done and everything, this is like really TMI, I'm realizing, but anyways, I'm just gonna keep telling you guys about it. So, yeah, so they were checking me, and then she's like, is there any chance that you could be pregnant? And I'm just like, so me at 25, I'm like, I've been single for, I have been without a sexual partner for, you know what? Math. That's just honestly is just too much. Just kidding. It's probably it's like 3 years, 3, 4, 2. What? 2. You know, I don't really remember honestly. It was like 2 to 3 years or something. So I'm like, no, I really don't think so. Then they're like, well, if you're not pregnant, then this looks bad. And they didn't actually say that to me. They didn't say, this looks bad, because like they didn't want to freak me out. But the look on her face at this point, she's like, this is a little concerning right now. Like, you could see it. So she was like, I'm just gonna go get someone else to check this out too. Just to make sure, you know, it's good. Okay, I'll be right back. She goes to get another person, and she comes in, and this lady was like a little more like loud, a little more, and she's like, what is there, are you sure it's not way this girl get me pregnant? And then she's all like, she says that she hasn't had sex in like 2 years or something, and then she's like, oh, well, that'll do it, you know, like, I guess you can't be pregnant, you're right. So then they're like, oh, ooh, so turns out you got a little something going on there, and it's not normal, and so we're gonna have to send you up to the doctors in the city. That's when you know you're from a small town. You really gotta send me to the doctors, you know, in the big hospital, and have a look at me, the like examiners and stuff like that, because I'm probably gonna have to get surgery. I also had to get tested. I had to get all these like different things done. Like I had to get like an MRI and like all these different examinations, which honestly, I don't even remember all the stuff that I had to get done at this point. But a lot of different testings, and it took like I think it was like a full day of me going up there, doing all these different tests, having my blood drawn, lots of different stuff. Then I ended up having to get surgery. So at this point now, so like I had that appointment, my gynecologist appointment first, where they discovered that I had this, you know, mass of something there. And then I had to go to my other appointments to get all those examinations done and stuff, and get everything tested and get the results from that, and just to make sure that I was like healthy, just as like from all the outside stuff they could check as possible, and before they could go internally to like get that out. And then the only way that they would know whether or not it was cancerous was when to like get the tumor out, and then like actually test the actual tumor with whatever they tested with, because I don't know. Yeah, so then because I had been growing inside of me for so long, they couldn't do a surgery in which they had to open my body up to get to it, instead of not open my body up to get to it. So yeah, I had to do that, and I have a scar from it now, which I mean, no one can see because it's in a spot where no one can see. If I'm ever feeling wild and free, you know, but I'm not just kidding. I do have some clips and like some photos and stuff from that, so I'll maybe include that in here from my surgery. I turned the hospital room into a fashion shoot because I am extra, so there you go. I'm sure the story time would have been way better if I had filmed it like back at the time when this had all happened, because it was kind of crazy. Everything's Gucci now. All I have to do now is just have my regular checkups and it's all good. Oh, I forgot to mention the tumor, because it had been growing inside of me for so long, had grown to about, they told me it was like a large amount, but I don't remember how much it was. That's not impressive. That doesn't tell you anything. Oh, here's a reference. After my surgery, I dropped about 5 to 10 pounds. I feel like it was 10 pounds. It, like, crazy. Like, what? After my surgery, I lost about 10 pounds, which, like, obviously some of that was probably just because before you go into surgery, you have to stop eating food for, like, 24 hours in advance, which was hard for me. Like, not eating? What? That's crazy. I dropped about like 5 to 10 pounds, and that was just from the tumor. That's wild, guys. That's how big the tumor was. Isn't that crazy? It's insane. I'm gonna try to give you guys a little bit more detail of when I was in the hospital. Let me just try to think back and remember everything that happened. So like, I honestly can't remember a lot. I remember the procedure, like the doctors and all the staff and everything were really, really kind. They were really, really good. And my whole family came, and by my whole family I mean like my mom and my dad and my sisters, my 2 younger sisters. Have you guys ever had the IVs that go into your hand before? Because those are a lot more painful than just the IVs that like go into your arm. I don't know, like the skin on your hand is just like different, and they really shove it in there, and it wasn't that bad, you know, like all I had to do was just like set it down and just like not move it at all in order to like not be as painful, but it seriously hurt the whole time that it was in there. It felt so good when I took that thing out. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Basically anything that I remember from the surgery, I was knocked out for that. That'd be super weird if I was awake, to be honest. See them like opening up your body and stuff. Is anyone awake when they do that type of thing? That would be some crazy stuff right there. I was asleep, so the only thing I remember is them giving me like the medicine to knock me out, and then like they were moving me in the bed, because like, you know how hospital beds have like wheels on them and they move you around and stuff, like a little roller coaster. So they were moving me, and I was like waving bye to my family, and then that's all I remember. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in that same area, and then like the lady is talking to me and she's like, your surgery is all done. I'm waking up and I don't remember the rest. I think she was like, do you want some water or something? And like she gave me some water, and I don't even remember after that. I was just like, she has such a nice voice. I like that. Isn't she a beautiful person? Then I had to stay in the hospital overnight in order to just have them, they still needed to like finish the testing on the actual tumor at that point, and also just to like make sure everything was good with me. And I was still hooked up to all this stuff, and like when I was sleeping in the hospital, I would wake up throughout the night. I'd have to go to the bathroom, and so like they had me call for the nurse at first, which I was supposed to keep calling for the nurse, but you know what, I break the rules apparently, so I'm just a very independent person, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Actually, honestly, I should have called the nurse, because the reason being, like, I was still kind of like, you know, groggy from the surgery, and so I like kind of was like prone to faint, which I'm kind of prone to faint just normally anyway if it's like really hot outside or something. And that was like even more so when I was like younger and I was like really like skinny and stuff. But so then after the second or third time that I like had to call the nurse, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going. I don't care. I saw what the nurse did to unhook me. I'm gonna do it and go. So that's what I did, which I should not probably be putting on the internet for everyone to know about, but that is what happened. That is what I did. And I went to the bathroom. Oh my gosh, I do remember now. I would wake up periodically throughout the night and I would eat food because I was like, I am hungry. because I hadn't eaten in like 24 hours or whatever the amount of hours is that you're not supposed to eat food before your surgery, and I was like, food. And I just would keep eating the food they had brought me. Good stuff, yes. I think I do have some footage of me eating some food. I will definitely insert that. Boop.
Good morning, everyone. I just had my blood drawn. That's not what's important, though. This is what's important.
And then they had me get up and walk throughout the day while I was there for like another maybe like 12 hours in the day after I had the night at the hospital. Stayed there for like another, till like maybe 4 p.m. or something. And then I was finally able to go home and just rest up at my own house. I had like 2 weeks off from work. What? That's crazy. Oh, I also remember when they came in to tell me the news that the tumor was benign, the whole surgical team came to my room, and like all the like student nurses and everything came into my room, because like the student nurses who were like observing me or whatever when they were doing this surgery, and like there was so many people. There was probably like 12 to 13 people who all were involved with my surgery just to, you know, do this little operation. Well, maybe I shouldn't say little, but to do this operation. And yeah, I owe a lot to them. They the real ones. They the homies. Alright guys, you have reached the end of the video. I want to thank you guys as always so much for watching, following along with this wild story of my tumor and how I had no idea that it existed because I don't take care of myself. But don't worry, I take care of myself now, so that's what's important. And you should take care of yourself too, so if you need to do your appointments and your daily checkups, definitely do those, because they might catch something that you have no idea is going on. That is the takeaway, I suppose, with this video. I wanted to thank you all so much for watching. I already said that, but hopefully I'll be seeing you all in my next video. Till next time!